Welcome to Bowring Media. Today, we talk about energy, the real force behind wars, power, and nations. Wars didn't build civilizations. Kings didn't build civilizations. Ideas didn't build civilizations. Ideas only survive when there is energy behind them. Every empire that rose and every empire that collapsed did so after gaining or losing access to energy. To understand history, you don't study leaders, you study energy. But not all energy is equal. What really matters is how much energy you can store and how far you can carry it. The first energy revolution was fire. Fire turned humans from prey into planners. Fire meant warmth in cold nights, cooked food instead of raw meat, protection from predators, and light after sunset. Humans didn't just survive longer, they stayed awake longer. They talked, they planned, they imagined. Fire didn't just warm bodies, it warmed the future. But fire had limits. You couldn't carry it far, you couldn't store much of it. Civilization needed denser energy. Coal changed the speed of civilization. For the first time, energy was packed tightly into a small space. Energy density increased. Energy was no longer limited by human muscle. Steam engines replaced hundreds of workers. Factories multiplied output. Railways connected cities and ports. Countries with coal industrialized faster and dominated those without it. This is where power shifted from kings to machines. Scale doesn't come from intelligence, it comes from energy. Oil didn't just move vehicles, it solved a bigger problem. Oil was dense and oil was portable. A small amount of fuel could move massive machines over long distances. That changed everything. Today's modern armies don't move on courage, they move on fuel. Tanks, aircraft, naval fleets. Oil allowed nations to project power far beyond their borders. Energy density built nations. Energy portability connected the world. In the 20th century, access to oil became a military objective. Regions like Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Iraq became globally important not because of politics, but because of petroleum. Wars may start with words, but they run on fuel. Energy security is national security. Threaten energy supply, and the world reacts instantly. In 1990, Iraq invaded Kuwait. This wasn't just about borders. Kuwait controlled massive oil reserves. The global response was immediate because oil prices affect transport, food, inflation, and entire economies. Control energy, and you influence the world without firing a shot. Modern power doesn't always come from oil fields. Sometimes it flows through pipelines. For decades, Russia supplied natural gas to Europe. Cheap energy powered industries, but dependence created vulnerability. When supply becomes uncertain, prices rise, factories slow, and politics change. Energy dependence is silent until it becomes dangerous. Today's energy wars are quieter. Nations now prepare before crisis begins. The United States invested heavily in shale oil and gas to secure dense domestic energy. China secures energy routes far in oil fields and invests heavily in batteries because the next battle is not just about fuel, it is about storage. Saudi Arabia is diversifying its economy, not because oil is ending, but because power is evolving. The next energy revolution is already happening. Energy density is changing again. Batteries are improving. Energy is becoming lighter, cleaner, and more controllable. This is why electric vehicles exist. This is why satellites stay in orbit. This is why rockets escape Earth. To reach space, you need extreme energy density. To build the future, you need control of energy at every scale. Power is shifting from resources to systems, from owning fuel to managing energy. Solar, wind, batteries, and smart grids do not eliminate competition. They redesign it. The real question is no longer who has oil. The question is who controls technology, storage, and intelligence.
The future of energy is not clean or dirty. It is controlled or uncontrolled. Every civilization follows the same rule: upgrade energy or decline. History isn't written by generals or politicians. It is written by energy.